Hello and welcome to Allegiant Stadium for yet another round of monster trucks. Once again, we are going to start off with racing. 16 trucks on our bracket. Here's the bracket, just because I haven't done this in a while. Anyway, we are going to give a quick demonstration of how the track here at Allegiant Stadium will work. So, let's get on to the track demonstration. As always, we have the trusty CRD chassis here to demonstrate for us how the track will work. Each truck will start up on one of these tabletops at these big inflatable start signs. And once the light goes green, they will have to accelerate down the tabletop into the straightaway you see before you. Light is green, there goes our CRD chassis. From there, each truck will have to make a turn around some crushed cars. After that, they'll have to accelerate once again, jump over yet another tabletop, and across the finish line. But of course, they are not done just yet, as they'll have to turn around the starting area. The CRD chassis taking a little bit wide, come down the straightaway yet again, before having to turn around the crushed cars, and up over the tabletop and finish line. Of course, whoever is first across the finish line will be the winner of the race, and will move on to the next round. So, with that little track demonstration officially completed as the CRD crosses the finish line, let's move on to our first two competitors of round one. Up first we have Silver Bullet and Avenger. Silver Bullet seems to have a slight lead over Avenger. Avenger clipping some of the crushed cars. Silver Bullet shows a fairly nice lead on Avenger here, entering the final turn. And it looks like it's going to be Silver Bullet who takes the win here in racing today. Up next, we have Iron Outlaw versus Sting. Off the starting line and into the first turn here, both trucks are taking it a little bit wide. Sting taking it very wide in the turn here, coming along back into the straightaway. Sting seeming to make up some ground here in the straightaway, takes the turn much tighter than Iron Outlaw. And it looks like this will be a pretty easy round one win for Sting. Oh, although Sting seems to be in some trouble. Over he goes. And it's just some cosmetic damage, it looks like. He'll be fine. Up next is Pirate's Curse and your World Finals Racing Champion, Identity Theft. Both trucks seem to be fairly even coming into the straightaway here. Entering the final turn, this will decide who our champion is. Looks like Pirate's Curse might take the win here. Pirate's Curse clips the ramp, and it's a very close race indeed, but Pirate's Curse just barely takes the win. Up next is Desperado and Gravedigger. Both trucks seem to take this turn very wide. Desperado definitely going in wide. Although Desperado seems to have caught up in the straightaway here. Gravedigger taking it wide now. Will it be enough? It looks like it's going to be Desperado who takes the win for round 1. Up next we have Aftershock and Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter seeming to take it a little bit wide, same with Aftershock. Coming into the final turn here, Aftershock seems to have a slight lead. Bounty Hunter comes into the turn but leaves it with a little more speed. Who's it going to be? Yet another very close race, but it will be Bounty Hunter who takes the win as he almost rolls the truck over. Up next is VP Racing Fuel's Mad Scientist and Thunderbolt. VP Racing Fuel's Mad Scientist seem to have a little bit of trouble in the turn. Into the final turn, Mad Scientist takes it wide, and that will let Thunderbolt grab an easy win here today at Allegiant Stadium. Up next is Max D and Cyberpunk. Max D seems to clip the racing ramp. That's going to cost him some time as Cyberpunk pulls ahead. Max D seems to have made up ground, but Cyberpunk still holds the lead, and it will be Cyberpunk who crosses the line first. Finally, for round 1, we have Scarlet Bandit and Monster Mutt. Coming down the straightaway, Monster Mutt seems to have a very slight lead. Coming into the turn here, Monster Mutt executes that turn beautifully, and it will be Monster Mutt who takes the win for round 1. And looking at our bracket for round 2, we have some fairly decent upsets that happened. Although this is a very interesting lineup, I don't know who's going to win this one, but we'll find out through the next few rounds. But before we move on to round 2, I will say this quick little thing. Max D, this event is running on the Wilhelm chassis, which is currently in alpha. You too can get your hands on the Wilhelm chassis by donating $10 per month to the Beam Monsters YouTube channel and becoming a Diamond member. So, if you want your hands on the Wilhelm chassis, you too can donate Beam Monsters YouTube channel. And from there, you can get your hands on the Wilhelm chassis. So let's move on to round 2. Starting up round 2, we have Silver Bullet and Sting. Sting seeming to have some trouble in that first turn as part of the truck goes up that middle ramp. Silver Bullet with a nice lead over Sting entering the turn here. Sting seems to catch up, but will it be enough? Doesn't quite look like it as Silver Bullet takes the win for round 2. Up next for round 2 is Desperado and Pirate's Curse. Into the final turn here, Desperado seems to have a little bit of a lead. Pirate's Curse seems to take the turn much better though. Pirate's Curse pulled ahead, and Pirate's Curse will take the round 2 win. Up next we have Thunderbolt and Bounty Hunter. Thunderbolt seems to pull a pretty big lead over Bounty Hunter within the first few seconds of the lap. Thunderbolt just storming on ahead, enters the turn before Bounty Hunter can even get there. Thunderbolt having some problems on the crush car, but will very easily beat Bounty Hunter over the finish line. And finally, for our round 2 race, we have Cyberpunk and Monster Mutt. To the turn here, Cyberpunk entered it first, coming around. It's going to be close. It will be Monster Mutt who beats out Cyberpunk for the win. Here we have our bracket leading into the semifinals. Only 1/4 of our original 16 trucks remain, and only one of them will be the champion moving on to the World Finals. So let's move on, see which of these 4 trucks will make it into the finals. Starting off the semifinals, we have Silver Bullet and Pirate's Curse. Silver Bullet and Pirate's Curse taking the turns very wide. Silver Bullet almost going off the track. Pirate's Curse also going off track. Both of these trucks taking the turns pretty wide, but it will be Silver Bullet who pulls ahead and will beat out Pirate's Curse. Up next is Thunderbolt and Monster Mutt. Monster Mutt having a little bit of problems in that first turn. Thunderbolt seeming to have a little bit of problems in the second turn. Monster Mutt catches up, but it's all down to this final turn here as Thunderbolt just drifts along the cars. And it looks like this will be a pretty easy win here for Thunderbolt. Over here in the yellow lane, we have Silver Bullet setting up on their tabletop. Silver Bullet seeming to be a sort of a Second World War aircraft-inspired monster truck, just like their opponent over in the purple lane, Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt yet again seeming to be inspired by Second World War era aircraft, in particular based on the name and paint scheme of the truck, a P-47 Thunderbolt. So, which of these 2 warbirds will take home a racing championship and a chance at the World Finals? Well, let's find out now. With the 2 trucks staged, it's time to find out who will go. Let's go green. These two Warbird-inspired trucks showing off their horsepower in the straightaway. Coming out of the turn up over the tabletop. Silver Bullet having a little problem in the turn, but takes the turn tighter than Thunderbolt. Into the final turn here. Both trucks take it a little wide. Who's it gonna be? And it will be Silver Bullet who beats Thunderbolt across the finish line and will be our champion into the World Finals. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Silver Bullet here is our racing champion here at Allegiant Stadium, and soon we'll be able to come back to Las Vegas for a chance at the finals. So, with a little celebratory freestyle here, you may enjoy at your leisure, and I will see you again in freestyle.